everybody, it's Doreen, and today I'm back with an anniversary card. This is an anniversary card that I've made for my husband. It is our 8th wedding anniversary, and today we are going to be using the Silhouette, but I'm also going to add a few other things that we're going to use. I'm actually going to be doing some rubber stamping, and I'm going to be using some of the Cherry Lin dies. And we will also be using the print and cut feature. Now I'm not going to show you how to do the print and cut because I have several videos out there that do show you how to do the print and cut. So what does my card look like for today? This is the card that we will be making. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how I made this card.
Okay everybody, so before we start putting our card together, I'm just going to real quickly show how I am making the frame portion of the card and the silhouette file that I'm using. So what we're actually going to do is, this is called a nested label, and we're going to take the negative space and use that to make our frame. So first of all, we need to go out and get the nested label, and our nested label is number 76893. That's the one that I will be using, and as you can see, it comes in grouped together like so. Well, I only want just one of them, so I'm going to right click, and then I'm going to click ungroup, and then I'm going to actually use the largest one. So we'll just go ahead and grab these and then just hit the delete key because we're only going to use just this one. So let me go ahead and open up our scale window so we can get our size together. So now this is our label, but we want to frame this, and we just want the frame portion of this. So what I'm going to do is go out and grab my draw a rectangle tool, and I'm just gonna draw a rectangle for right now. So then the next thing I want to do is I want to size this. So I'm gonna make this, and I'm gonna take my lock aspect ratio off, and I'm gonna make this 4.5 by 4.5 because our card is actually 5 by 5. So now I have my rectangle around my nested label. So what I want to do next is I want to grab the nested label, and I want to grab the rectangle that I just drew, and then I'm going to go up here to my align window, and I'm going to center this entire piece right here. And now as you can see, it is centered. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this a compound path. So now, once I did that, that makes this all one piece. So then when you go to cut this, so let's just click on the cut settings. As you can see, it's going to cut around this, and then it's going to cut this out, and so you'll have that piece right there, but then this will be your frame. So that's how we're going to do that. So what I want you to do is go ahead, and if you're going to make this card with me, set yourself up on your mat and do the exact same thing. I will put a link to all of the other files that I'm using to make this card down in the description bar. So let's go back over to the table and start putting our card together.
Okay everybody, so before we start getting and putting our card together, I've already shown you how I set it up on my mat. So I really show when I do rubber stamping, and it's because I don't do a lot of rubber stamping, even though I do have a lot of rubber stamps. So with this card, I've decided I'm going to rubber stamp my background image rather than using the print and cut on the Silhouette. I started out looking for some digital paper, and I didn't find anything that I really liked, and I said, you know, I haven't done any rubber stamping, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to take my embossing buddy, because I am going to also emboss this, and just run it across my paper, and that just helps the embossing take effect better. So then the next thing we'll do, I'm going to set this to the side for just a second, is I'm going to take my rubber stamp. Now, I don't remember where I got this rubber stamp. I did get it a while ago, so I have no idea where I got it. It might have been in a rubber stamp show. I don't know the name of it or anything. And I actually think it might be one that I picked up at Joann's. So what I'm going to use is this VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And the reason why I'm using this is it says captures fine details like no other. So it's going to get all of those fine little script lines really good, so I get a good stamp. Now the one thing you want to remember is you want to make sure you ink up your stamp really good, or really well, so that you can get all of your image. So I'm probably putting too much ink on here, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I think that should be good enough. I think it looks pretty good there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this little mat that I have, and I'm going to put my paper, and hopefully I remembered which side I put the embossing buddy on. Just in case, I'll run it across it again. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp this out. So make sure we get this flipped over, and then I'm just going to pick a spot here, and I'm actually going to stand up and do this because I want to make sure I get this, and then I'm just going to press down, and that should be good enough. And then I'm going to pull it up, and there you have it. And as you can see, it did come out still kind of light. But now the next thing we'll do is we're going to take and we're going to emboss this. So while it's still wet, I'm going to go ahead and put my embossing powder on. And I'm just going to spray this all over like so. Get it well covered, and don't worry, you won't be wasting it because I have this little tray here, and I'm just going to make sure I get it all over the image, and I'm going to pour it all back in here. And because I have that little spout down there at the bottom, if you can see that, I can go ahead and just pour that back into the bottle. So now what we'll do is, I'm going to make sure I get it all off. We'll go ahead and I'm going to move this to the side, and then I'm going to go ahead and start embossing. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and we'll finish up doing our card. Okay everybody, so let's continue putting our card together. So now the card measures 10 inches by 5 inches, and I've taken and scored it in half to make it a 5 by 5 inch card. And I've already gone and added my inside sentiment, and I did use the print and cut to do the inside sentiment, and I also used the print and cut to do my corners. And I will put a link down in the description bar as well as up here in the video as to the little photo corners here, or the little flowers that I have in the corner that I used to print and cut. Now this is a cut file, but I turned it into a print and cut, and I'm not going to show you how to do that because I've got several videos out there showing you how to do a print and cut. So now let's go ahead and start putting our frame piece together. So I'm going to start with the first layer of the frame, and I'm going to go ahead and add our piece that we rubber stamped and embossed. and I don't know if the camera will pick up the shine from the embossing. And I just used a black embossing powder. So now I did ended up cutting this down because I wanted this to fit behind here. So what you can do is just, and I didn't measure or anything, I just lined this up, the whole piece of my actual stamp that I stamped out. And here's another one that I stamped, just so I could see, you know, what it was going to look like. So what you'll do is, I just took this and I kind of lined it up where I wanted it to be in the frame, and then I just marked it and then cut it. So there's no actual size of measuring, but this piece itself is about 4.5 by 4.5. So it's actually the size of the actual frame here. So, and then what I've done is I've gone ahead and just taken some two-way tape or score tape and put this on the back of here so we can just add this. And the reason why I'm doing this way is because I wanted to make sure that this really did stick down because of that embossing. So I'm going to just pull my tape backing off of here, and I'm going to go ahead and then we'll add this to our rubber stamped emboss piece. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to add this to the card before we put our layers of the frame on. So I'm going to bring this close to me for just a second, so I may be out of camera frame because I want to make sure I get this lined up on here as best I can. And then I'm just going to press all the way around. And I'm a little bit off up here, but that'll be okay, because what we can do is I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and just go ahead and snip that edge so we can line that up. So let me do that real quick and then I'll come back. Okay, everybody, so I do have my piece lined up now, and I just snipped off that little piece that was showing. So now let's continue on, and we're just going to add this to the front of our card. And I'm just going to use my HEG gun and get some tape all the way around here, and then we'll add this piece to the card. I'll open this out, and I'm going to line this up, and we'll just go ahead and add that to the card. So now what I've done with my frame is I cut out 4 of these. This is the 4th one here, and I've taken 3 of them and I've gone ahead and just used some regular old foam tape, and I doubled each layer of the foam tape, and we're going to add that on top of here to make this look sort of like a 3D shadow effect. So it'll sit up high like that. Now, yes, you can see the foam tape if you turn it to the side, but that'll be okay. If you have some black foam tape, you can go ahead and use that. I didn't have any, or actually I had some, but I only had a little amount and I didn't want to use up all of it. So I'm just gonna use what piece that I have here, or use what I've already got. So I've already got my foam tape on the back of this one, so I'm going to start peeling off the paper backing, and then we'll add this one onto the card, and then we'll have like our 3D frame. So we'll go along here and take all the tape off. So yes, this was a lot of foam tape. So that's why I didn't want to use the foam squares. Alrighty. So now we're just going to line this up. And I'm going to open this out so I can really make sure I get this lined up in here. So there you have it. It now looks like a 3D card. So next thing we're going to add is, let's see, probably go ahead and put our little label across here, across the front. And we'll add that like so. And then I've also gone ahead and popped up, I've cut out 4 of the number 8 because it is our 8th anniversary. And I've popped that up as well. And I'm just going to sit that down inside there. And I probably think I'm going to move this over just a little bit because I wanted that butterfly to show. But it doesn't look like it's going to, but that's fine. So that will be added to that. So let's get this piece together. And we'll get some tape on here. And I'm just going to use my Tombow to get this on here. And I'm going to line it up from starting from this side. And place that over there. So this card is really going to be 3-dimensional. So I'm actually going to add some foam tape again in the corner of each side here. We're just going to have this pop up as well, sitting up so, like so. So let's take the tape back off of here and we'll pop this one up. Also, oops, it's kind of sticking to my fingers. And then we'll go ahead and tape that down. Then we'll take the foam backing off our number 8. And then we'll press that one down as well. And let's make sure I got that straight. And there is our card. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and finish adding some more embellishment. I've got some flowers and things that I want to add. And then I'm going to come back with the finished card and my envelope. Okay everybody, so I am back with the finished card and this is what it looks like. So I went ahead and took my number 8 and I used some glossy accents on it and to give it a shine because I just had to make it that it stood out. And then I went ahead and added these little flowers here along the side here and added some brads. And then and these flowers are actually a Silhouette file, and I will put that file item number down in the description bar below. And then also I went ahead and taken a cherry Lin die and ran that through my Big Shot, and then I took my big marker and just kind of colored in the veins on the leaves. Bring that up so you can see that. And then as I said, I added a little brad in the center of each flower, if I didn't say that already. And then I went ahead over here on the right and just took one of the candies, and the candies I bought in white, and I take them and color them whatever color I want. So I took my big marker and colored that in black. And then for my envelope, I went ahead and used my We Are Memory Keeper 123 punch board and made myself a box envelope. And I also used a Silhouette file. I'm sorry, this isn't a Silhouette file. This file is actually a file I found on the internet. I've used it before. I don't remember where I got it, but if you just search cut file happy anniversary, you should be able to find something similar to this. And this does come as two pieces of a cut file, but what I did was I just took the black portion and made that a print and cut, and then took my background and cut that out. And then I had a couple of the flowers left over, so I just added those here on the side. So that's it, everybody. This is my finished anniversary card that I've made for my husband for our 8th wedding anniversary. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.